Welcome to Bible 101 Foundations of Bible Study Language Barriers. Certain terms used in our Bible has a different meaning today than it did at the time it was written. So, a very good example of this is the word Jew in the New Testament. And so, we're going to talk about that for a moment. Today, this word Jew is used synonymously with Yisrael or used to mean the chosen people of God, the biblical Israelites. However, the word had an entirely different meaning at the time the scripture was originally written. In fact, the word Jew did not exist until the 18th century, which was at minimum 1700 years after the biblical text was actually written. So, in the Old Testament, as we'll see, the word Jew replaces the Hebrew word Yehudi, which means a descendant of Judah or Israelites. All right, so we're going to search the word Jew in Blue Letter Bible so we can see what it meant originally in the Old Testament. And we see that it came up here, so we're going to use Strong's. And it says Strong's, but keep in mind that you can access the lexicon and several different tools by just clicking on the Strong's. And so we're going to click on the Strong's number there. And we see, like I said, this word, the word that was translated from the Hebrew to English was actually Yehudi, right? And the English translated it to Jew. And now it tells you that the Bible uses Jew. All right, but we want to know what is a Jew, so this doesn't help us. So let's move down Strong's definition. And particularly it says Yehudi is a Yehudite, which is a descendant of Judah, right? A descendant of Yehuda or Judah, right? Okay. And then if we look at the Hebrew Chaldee lexicon, it says one who belonged to the kingdom of Judah. In the later Hebrew, after the carrying away of the 10 tribes, it was applied to any Israelite. And so all Israelites took on the name of a Yehudi once they were scattered abroad. They became Yehudi, right? And so the Old Testament refers to all of Israel as Yehudi. And this is the word that has been translated to Jew. Now, let's go back and see how it's used in the New Testament. So we're going to choose a New Testament book. We can use John. And what we'll find is that by the time the New Testament was written, the Greek term that was supposed to be the same as Yehudi in Hebrew was used to refer to several different types of people. A person could be called a Jew or second. Okay, so we're going to go to Strong's. So a person could be called a Jew or a Iudaios, right? Which is supposed to be the same as Yehudi, translated into the Greek. But when we come here, it says Jewish, belonging to a Jewish nation. But what we want to know is, what is a Jew? And it says Jewish as respect to birth, origin, or religion. Okay, this is a better definition. Jewish as respects to birth, origin, or religion. So let's go take it a little further and see what a Iadas is. It says a Judean, so a person who lived in Judea, or a person who belonged to Yehuda or Judah, again of Judea, so a person who lived in Judea. And so by the time the word Jew was used, or not Jew, but this word here, Iudaios, by the time this word was used, it came to mean several different things. It meant a person of Israelite descendant, a person who was a descendant of Israel or Jacob. It meant a person who belonged to the tribe of Judah. It meant a person who lived in Judea, or a person who practiced the religion Judaism. So now we can see how it can get very confusing very quickly. So it could mean several different things. Um, a Judean, for example, is like saying someone is an American. It doesn't really tell you much about a person to say that they're American, other than the fact that they have American citizenship. They live in America. It doesn't say where their ancestors come from. It doesn't say anything about their ancestry, or where their people originated from, or anything like that. What their nationality is. It doesn't say anything about what their ethnicity is. Being from Judea is the same as someone saying she's from America. Okay, but what does that mean? Is she African? Is she Italian? Is she Native American? Is she Indian? Is she a Hebrew? Is she an Israelite? It doesn't really answer those questions. And so it was kind of the same thing. Also, the same thing goes for a person who was called a Jew because of their religion. It's like being called a Christian. It doesn't say anything about who our ancestors are, if we are God's chosen people, or anything like that. One thing does not have anything to do with the next. But we have come to misunderstand this word Jew as being a coverall for God's chosen children, when the truth is it would be inaccurate or incorrect to call us a Jew because of what this word has come to mean. And it has come to mean really, anything or anyone, but that is not what the Bible is like. That's not what the original intent was. A Yehudi, or a Yehudim, was a descendant of Israel. And so let's just keep in mind that there are many limitations like this regarding biblical interpretation and translation. Overcoming these barriers requires study and reviewing the entire message for context. Revelation says this about the matter. It says, I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Jews within the context of this scripture in Revelations means descendants of Israel, as it did in the Old Testament, or particularly maybe a descendant of Judah. But the Jews that he's talking about, like he's saying, the original people, the Old Testament people, someone else has come and taken their name, their title, their identity, and they are lying. They are actually the synagogue of Satan, but they are saying that they are my people. They are not my people, right? So this is what the word has to say regarding this issue of what is a Jew. And so I hope this is eye-opening. I hope that you can see this as an example of why we need to study the word more deeply, more in depth, more diligently, and not just accept common beliefs, common things that we've heard, or come to quote unquote know, because a lot of it is incorrect. I hope this is helpful and you have a blessed one. Next video up is authors and audiences.